to another episode of Nighttime Series. Today I want to talk about 3 more underrated characters I feel like deserve a bit of a spotlight, and even if they aren't the best, I think you should just try them out anyway because they are just pretty fun and they are quite effective at what they do. I'm gonna do like a bit of a theme this time though. I want to do only 3 mutant characters just so they all have like something in common, right? Because the last time I did this, I did like Hawkeye, Falcon, and Dr. Octopus, who are all like pretty just like random characters that don't really have anything in common. But yeah, this time around it's gonna be 3 mutant characters. So yeah, let's not waste any time. This is probably gonna be the only topic for today, and let's just get right into it. The first character is the one that inspired this video to be made in the first place, and it's Jubilee. I just am in love with this champion, man. She is so much fun to play. Her utility, while it's kind of light, the things she does like very, very efficiently. There is a bit of a problem with her though, because she's a trade-off champion. Like, you trade off the damage for utility. Like, her SP1 taunt and slow are just super good, but it doesn't compare to the damage output when you are in the orange fireworks and you drop the SP2. However, it is like a very nice piece of utility that she has to have both a taunt and a slow, as well as like punishing Purify and having all energy attacks. Just a very nice kit, and I feel like while she isn't like the most like promising mutant character, I feel like she is still pretty good overall, and I would like love to have this character at a rank 4 level. Unfortunately, I cannot take it to rank 4 just yet, so she'll just be at rank 3, but I really just love her diversity, man. I just love how she's good at like a lot of certain things, and it just lets her be like a very, diverse champion. And in like battlegrounds, I feel like her damage output is really good for that type of health pools, because you just drop 1 SP2 and it usually closes out the fight. She's just a very like pretty nice damage dealer. The utility is there if you need it, and she is just super fun to play. So I really suggest that you give her a try. Just like test her out, see if she's your kind of champion. For me, she is my kind of champion because I just love characters that have a lot of utility and can like do some pretty decent damage as well. I know that she doesn't have both damage and utility at the same time, but the fact that she does have access to both is like something that's pretty nice, right? Because there's champs like Red Skull who do not have the access to damage. I mean, like, without synergies anyway. But yeah, overall, I just love Jubilee, and I cannot wait to make some videos on her. So yeah, now let's talk about the next character, which is someone that I've loved for a very, very long time, and I'm finally talking about them. I really, really love Gambit, man. Like, I've played this guy for a very long time. I took him up, like, pre-buff to rank 3, and when he got buffed, I was just such a fan. I love everything about this character. He is not as fun to play as Jubilee, but he is just very, like, satisfying to play, because when you drop the SP2 and it crits, it just, like, one-shots most things in the game, man. It is just a very awesome time. Of course, there is that, like, setback that he is very current reliant, but besides that, he just has so much to offer, man. He has the 0 damage from like thorns like damage on his medium attacks and his heavy attacks and his special attacks, so he takes no damage from Magic's Limbo, from Korg's thorns, just from like a lot of different attacks. And like Psychic Thorns he counters as well. He just counters a lot of things with his medium attacks, and it's just a very awesome time. He also has a bleed and like 150% bleed resistance, so it's like pretty much bleed immunity, and he can like heal with it as well. And he's also a mutant, right? So he has access to, like, the poison resistance synergy with Professor X. So he's, like, super Recall Mastery's friendly. There's just a lot going on with this character. He also has access to a very strong concussion, and he has access to chain stun as well. So this guy can just do a lot, in my opinion, and he's just a very fun character. But then we talk about the Horseman Gambit. Horseman Gambit is just crazy good, man, because he can just perfect block everything. This guy is a cheat code for like a lot of content, like a lot of just general content. He can just absolutely cheese his way through. Like incursions, oh my gosh, he's so good in incursions, man, because he just like takes 0 damage from the block, right? So it's just a very fun time with this champion to just like sit there, take 0 damage, and then when like the fight's almost over, you just like drop your SP2 and it just like one-shots them. He is such a fun character to play, man. I honestly love Horseman Gambit, and I have him at rank 3 right now. I wish I rank 4'd him like sooner, but I don't think I can do it anytime soon. But I think rank 3 is enough for him anyway, because the damage output, while it does benefit from like extra rankings, the point of Gambit is to just like have a lot of utility there and like cheese a ton of content with like that perfect block, right? So I feel like the rank doesn't matter for that. But yeah, this guy just has a lot to offer in my opinion, and I really recommend testing him out because he can just be like such a cheat code and such like a very reliable champion, like more than Jubilee in my opinion. I feel like this guy is probably the best character I'm going to be talking about today, because he's just like such an incredible champion. He has access to a lot of cheese, man. He is a cheesy character, and I really just think that he is pretty underrated overall. And now let's talk about the last champion. Now, I have history with this last champion because I've hunted this girl for so long. It took like 3 years to finally get this character after hunting for so long, man. I used Mutant Abyss Nexuses, I just used Class Nexuses, I used so much to try to get this character, and finally, only a few months back did I get this champion, and I've just been enjoying her a ton ever since. She is a very solid champion in my opinion, and I'm talking about Emma Frost. Emma Frost is a bit of a weird one, right? Because I feel like she is still like regarded as good, but I feel like people just underrate how powerful her like overall utility is. Of course, there's been a lot of like hype around Absorbing Man, who just has so many immunities, but Emma Frost is like the OG when it comes to that because she has access to the immunities, and it is like every single immunity in the game pretty much. Like Absorbing Man, he has to go through like 2 different forms to access the immunities. Emma Frost just needs 1 form and she has it all right there. And there's like a lot of ways to be able to maintain that form throughout the entire fight. I've done it before and I will make a video about it soon. But yeah, Emma Frost just has a lot going on for her, especially in the diamond form, but in the telepath form as well. She counters evade, she has very awesome damage in that form as well, and she's just like a pretty fast character in my opinion. Like I feel like in battlegrounds, like at a rank 3 or rank 4 level, she's gonna be doing pretty like solid work for you because you know she has access to very fast damage output with the prowess stacking and a very high crit rate. She is a crit reliant character, but she does have help because her crit rate is increased per prowess, so it just like adds a lot of like reliability to her. And I don't know, man, I feel like this character is just really good. Like that's just how I feel though, right? Because you know, of course there's better mutants out there nowadays, but I feel like she's still a pretty like valuable champion overall to an account because she just like offers a lot. Her taunt is pretty good as well, but it's just like her control and just her immunities is just super valuable. She is very Recall Masteries friendly. She's very friendly to just like any progressing player, any like even endgame player I feel like can use her because you know there's always these weird battlegrounds menace I feel like she can benefit from, especially because like she has a very strong diamond form ability and it makes her like a pretty annoying pain on defense. Like the last battlegrounds meta, I feel like she's gonna be very good for like the last week of it because it's like a safeguard cap at 1%. And how do you get through safeguard? Via damage over time. But guess what Emma is immune to? Pretty much every single damage over time effect. So yeah, I feel like overall this champion still has a lot of uses, and like as time progresses, while she is falling down a bit, there's always some like way to like bring her back up, like you know this last battlegrounds meta. Just overall I feel like she's a pretty fun character to play as well. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. I just want to like mention some underrated mutant champions because you know I just like going over underrated characters because I'm not really known for like the most meta rank ups, and I don't really like care if people don't like my rank ups because you know I just play this game for fun, right? That's what the game was made for. It's not to like, the game wasn't made to be the best at it, right? It was just made to have fun, and that's what I'm doing, and that's why I want to talk about the underrated characters, not like the most meta characters. Though I do have a lot of fun with some of the meta characters, right? Like Omega Red is probably my favorite mutant to play. He's just so much fun. Like he is a blast, and he is easily like at least top 3 mutants in my opinion. I can talk about him all day, but this is for the underrated champions, right? But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Jubilee, Emma Frost, and Gambit. For me, I just love all 3 of them, and after I finish like my Hawkeye series, my Warlock series, and my Cassie Lang series, I want to start on them as well. And yeah, that's about it for me.